African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right? But through generations of blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve a government that defends your interests, protects your families, and cares for our own citizens first. My administration is fighting with everyone and all our heart to reverse the pain inflicted by Democrat leaders and to deliver hope and opportunity and prosperity for all Americans, but for African American communities all throughout our land. After years of building up other countries, we are finally building up our country, standing up for our workers and fighting for our forgotten communities. The first and highest duty of government is to take care of its own citizens. African Americans built this nation through generations of blood, sweat, and tears. And you, like all of our citizens, are entitled to a government that puts your needs, your interests, and your families first. After years of building up other countries, we are finally building up our country, standing up for our workers and fighting for our forgotten communities. The first and highest duty of government is to take care of its own citizens. African Americans built this nation through generations of blood, sweat, and tears. And you, like all of our citizens, are entitled to a government that puts your needs, your interests, and your families first.
America, we're tired of living like this. We're tired of suffering like this. We can build a nation of our own. Black men died at Pearl Harbor. Black men died in Guadalcanal, in the Solomon Islands, in the Philippines, at Iwo Jima. Black men died in North Africa fighting the Germans. Black men died at Anzio Beach, at Palermo, at Naples, to free Rome, to free Paris, to free Europe. Damn it! We died to build America. And America has rebuilt Germany and Japan, and the nigger is still suffering and dying in the streets of America.
Alright, welcome back to the channel. Me and you know very well that black people have built America. America was built by the black people all along, and everybody knows that. I know that. You also know that. So Trump is just trying to speak something or say something that everybody knows. Now the question is, haven't black people been saying they've built America? They have been saying. Haven't it been all over in history, in books, and everywhere we can be able to see it that black people have been building America? It is there. We can be able to see it. We are not supposed to be told. It is something me and you can be able to see it, and we don't need to talk about it. As much as we've been talking about it and putting it out there that blacks have built America, we've just been saying, just to remind them that they shouldn't have the arrogance or the pride, because America as it is was built by the black people. Now, Trump admitting the fact that black people built America is maybe a way of bringing back or a way of winning back the trust of the black people, or a way of showing out to the black people or to the rest of the people that he is someone who cares about what the black people did and who cares about the commitment that the black people gave in to build America. Either way, it is either he's trying to win the souls of the black people, to win the trust of the black people, or showing the black people that he cares so much, or showing everybody globally that he cares about everybody, okay? It can be a way of either making them trust him once again or believe in him once again, okay? I want to talk about this video. I want us to come and have conversation about what could be the reason as to why Donald Trump suddenly accepting and suddenly admitting the fact that black people build America. Yeah, it is something that has been happening. We've been talking about it and everybody knows about it. And for years, blacks, despite building America, they've really suffered in America. Despite being the pioneers of everything that is in America, despite growing the economy of America and the infrastructure of America, they've still been going through difficult time and difficult moments. Now, at what point did it get to Trump coming out and saying that he believes black people build America, and he is so concerned about the work that they did, and he is so concerned about treating them better and having equal rights with everybody, the white people and the black people? Take a look at these videos. I will come back with more to say.
Economy would look in America if all the black people just say, you know what, we out.
Why
We
do you
got a
think they
country.
stopping? Your president just banned it. 12 countries about to ban. He said 25 more.
Yeah.
And like as I told you, all of them are brown countries.
Yeah.
Ghana was on that list.
I
so
saw
they
that.
already seen the exodus of black people getting more passports, getting more documentation for countries. They don't want your money leaving here. So now they about to play more games with us. You see what I'm saying? As far as travel, they know what would happen. Now you got, because when I go over there, or I'm dealing with companies, they want us to come over there because we already know the game they playing. So they getting educated off of black Americans about the games that's being played.
You think that the American economy will collapse?
Negro, in the damn ground. And then not only that, which is sad to say, you got a lot of white people who are bigoted and racist. They're going to turn on their own white people because they need somebody to hate. And they are going to annihilate the other white people who still here with them. They need somebody. Think about the Civil War. They was fighting each other.
Probably the poor whites.
They're going to annihilate. They're going to be the poor white people that annihilate the other ones because they're the ones that ain't got nothing.
True,
but
because it's more
they
poor
ain't got
than it's
nobody
wealthy.
else to hate. If you don't have nobody else to hate here, and that's your culture, that's part of your culture, what you going to do? You about to eat each other alive.
Have you ever noticed how America really doesn't want Americans traveling like that? And for Black Americans, that truth runs even deeper. Because the moment we leave the country, we all start to see the lies. You realize life doesn't have to be constant struggle, fear, and survival. You see Blackness celebrated in ways America never taught us, or even showed us. You see communities thriving without the threat of racism at every corner and built into every system. And then it hits you. America fed us propaganda. They taught us to believe that we were unwanted everywhere else, that we had to fight for scraps here and be grateful for it, and that leaving wasn't an option because this was the best we were gonna get. Why, you asked? To keep us trapped, poisoned, and under control. But the illusion is cracking. Black Americans are traveling, relocating, building wealth, and freedom overseas. That's why you're starting to see them really cracking down on us traveling more and more. And once you see the truth with your own eyes, that you can fully live safely and abundantly beyond the constraints of America, you can't unsee it, and you can't go back. America's power has always been in keeping us blind and divided. But when Black Americans travel, unite, and claim freedom globally, the game changes. That's why they don't want us going anywhere. Because the moment we realize we're not powerless, the control is gone and the system is done.
Imagine waking up tomorrow and every Black and brown person in America is just gone. No warning, no explanation, just poof, gone. The workforce, the culture, the communities, the contributions, just all erased overnight. What would happen to America? Would it thrive, like some racists claim? Or would it collapse under its own weight? Let's talk about it. Black and brown workers make up nearly half of America's essential workforce. Nurses, teachers, farm workers, truck drivers, construction workers, delivery drivers, just gone. The $3 trillion that Black and brown consumers contribute to the economy, vanished. Small businesses, over 30% of them are minority owned. That means empty storefronts, lost jobs, and neighborhoods turned into ghost towns. We know for a fact that the U.S. relies on immigrant labor and historically oppressed communities to do the work that it doesn't want to acknowledge. Without Black and brown people, who's going to keep things running? Who's going to make America cool? Let's be real. American culture is Black and brown culture. Hip-hop, gone. Latin music, gone. Fashion, slang, food, art, all gone. The NBA, the NFL, boxing, decimated. No more Serena Williams, no more Patrick Mahomes. No more Jalen Hurts. No more LeBron, no more Messi. No more Usain Bolt. You're watching a golf tournament in silence now. Black culture alone generates billions for corporations, but those same corporations fight against Black empowerment. Imagine them trying to profit off America, but they have nothing but bland corporate branding and country music. But we created that too. 1 in 5 doctors, 1 in 4 nurses, 1 in 3 home health aides are Black or brown. Who's going to take care of America's aging population? The agricultural industry. Most farm workers are Latino. That means no fresh fruits and vegetables. Fast food, meatpacking, warehouses, sanitation. Heavily dependent on Black and brown labor. But if they're gone, those industries, they shut down overnight. The same people that America underpays and disrespects are the ones keeping it alive. 40% of the U.S. military is made up of minorities. Without them, America's global power weakens instantly. Law enforcement? Black and Latino officers make up 30% of the police force. Who's going to patrol the communities? America would no longer be a superpower. Because trust me, the rest of the world is watching. America needs the very same people that it mistreats. The U.S. relies on immigrant workers and young Black and brown folks to fund programs like Social Security and Medicare. Without them, there aren't enough taxpayers left to support the system. Retirement funds? Drained. White America will realize too late that the same people they spent decades trying to suppress are actually the backbones of this country. America's entire financial system depends on people of color, but it refuses to invest in them. Who's left to blame after we're gone? Without Black and brown people, who's going to be the new problem? Can't blame crime on inner cities. Can't complain about taking our jobs. Can't scapegoat immigrants anymore. So who's the new target? Because history shows that when oppressed people disappear, the powerful just find a new enemy. The reality is Black and brown people built this country, fund this country, and maintain this country. America doesn't function without its most exploited and underappreciated people. The real question isn't what happens if we leave. The real question is, why is America so dependent on people that it refuses to respect? The fact is, America doesn't deserve Black and brown people. But without us, it doesn't exist.
All right, welcome back again. African Americans does not need America right now to survive. America needs African Americans to survive. Without African Americans, America, I'm telling you the truth, America is not going to stand firm. Never will it ever be. And that is why America is going to fall when the African Americans are out of the country. African Americans leaving America is just acting as a catalyst to the fall of America. It is speeding the rate of reaction, the rate at which America is going to fall. African Americans, if they are going to extend their stay in America, America might take time to fall because African Americans have been have been acting as the pillars of America. Okay? Now, right now as we are talking, the African Americans are leaving America. Reason being, African Americans are beginning to see the other side of the coin. They're beginning to see Africa sounds better to them, or Africa treats them more better than how America is treating them. African Americans have all their lives lived in America. They've done everything in America. Many of them. I believe those people who were taken into slavery during the transatlantic slave trade, not even a single one of them is alive right now. But even if there can be one, maybe just 2 or 3. But the ones that are living today are the ones who were born in America and they've been living in America. Okay? All these years, there's just been mistreatment all over. And all these years, they've never felt what they're feeling when they're coming back to Africa. So when they come back to Africa, they feel like, oh, Africa sounds better, or Africa tastes sweeter than America. Okay? Then when they come to Africa, they find out that there are different things they're seeing in Africa, beautiful things, good things, compared to America. They feel like it is comfortable living in Africa than living in America. And now they're coming back to Africa in big numbers because mistreatment is enough right now. In America, they fought for their freedom, they fought for their rights, they've demonstrated, they've called upon everybody to come and help them. But did anybody come? Nobody came for their rescue. Everybody decided we're going to keep quiet because everybody thought suffering is for the black people. Black people are destined to suffering. So even when black people were crying, nobody even cared about them. Nobody tried to actually get concerned with them. And therefore they said, let them suffer, because suffering is subjected to black people. Because they are black, they are supposed to suffer. Now, blacks have suffered in America, and it has gotten to a point where now they want to exit America. Donald J. Trump knows one thing. If black Americans exit America, America is going to be weak. And if the fall of America has to come without the presence of the black people, that fall will be at a very fast rate. It's going to be very sooner than expected. But if the black people are still there, because of the intelligence, because of the capability, because of the supernatural powers, because of the favor that God has upon the black people, it can maybe take some time to fall. But on the other hand, black people are living. Many of them have started coming to Africa. I've played for you several videos of African Americans in Africa, enjoying, feeling better, dancing, and feeling like we are at home. When they share their experience with you, their experience while they're in Africa, you come to realize that, oh, so these people have been going through some difficult time, and now in Africa they're living better. Okay? But it really sounds fair to the government of America. It really sounds fair to the people of America. A little deportation shook America, and every white people, white farmers, every other person, they began crying because of the absence of the black people. In the absence of the black people, white people were really shedding their tears. Because all the fights in America, it is black people who have been fighting these fights. Whenever the government would sound or look like it is incompetent, the only people who came out and tried to condemn the bad governance were the black people. Because white people are weak. They cannot do that. It is very difficult for them to do that. So black people used to fight on the behalf of everybody. Blacks didn't just fought on the behalf of themselves. They fought on the behalf of everybody. They fought on the behalf of the white people. Because if they could condemn the government and then the government changes in some things, even white people found favor on that. Because all of them are consuming the same things. All of them, if the economy is bad, it's going to affect all of them. If the government is leading in an incompetent manner, it is going to affect the both of them. So blacks used to come out on the road and demonstrate. When the government decides to lose a rope at some point, both white and black are favored. But the white people didn't know it was by the power of the black people and by the sacrifice of the black people that they were living a better life. And therefore, they felt like we're living a better life because we deserve to live a better life. Nobody in this world deserves to live a better life. Everybody has to just try and work things out and pray that God will help you. But the white people destined themselves to better life. Like they know we are subject to better life. We are supposed to live a better life. Blacks are not supposed to live a better life. Okay? Now that blacks got to a point when they said, we are no longer going to fight, we shall keep quiet and enjoy the show. White people are crying because right now government is doing whatever it wants and there is nobody to complain. White people don't know how to demonstrate. They are very weak at that. That is why they call black people uncivilized, because when the black people feel like there is something that is not going on well, a black person will come out and say, you know, this one isn't working well, and no, we can no longer take it, or we can no longer really continue living by the rules that, or by the governance that is not good. Okay? White people, on the other hand, they're very weak at that. They feel like they're very superior, or they're very significant. They can't downgrade themselves by going on the road and demonstrating. So the black people used to demonstrate on their behalf. And when things change, they also enjoy the change. Okay? Now, blacks decided to keep quiet. They were not fighting again for the white people. And white people are crying because whites are silent. So the silence of the black people right now is killing the white people. Black people went ahead and decided, we're going to exit this country. Because they are the holders and they are the pillars of the white American economy, because they are the pillars of the American infrastructure development, because they're the pillar of the United States agriculture development, because they are the pillars of the United States culture and everything, entertainment and every single thing that is happening in America. Now, because they have threatened to leave, and many of them are already living in numbers, Donald Trump and the government will try to pretend that it wants to help them. It is only a fool who's going to fall on a trap like this one, because this is a setup, this is a trap. People show their true colors with the first impression, not with the second impression. So if you met somebody and your first meeting, he behaved weirdly, that is the behavior of that person. The first behavior you get from somebody, it's his behavior or her behavior. So it is only a fool who is going to fall on this trap. Donald Trump has nothing to do with the black people. He just wants the favor from the black people, because black people have been helping them for a very long time. And they know even themselves, they can't run the government without the black people. They can't lead without the black people. Not only the black people in America, but also the black people in the whole world. That is why they've always come to Africa to take what belongs to an African, what belongs to a black person in Africa, because the country of Africa has everything that it needs to survive. But the country of America and other countries are surviving using the minerals and resources that belongs to a black person in Africa, which means even themselves, they can't run their countries without associating themselves with a black person in one way or the other. So there is nothing positive or good that he has for the black people. What he is trying to do here is to prevent and to try and maybe keep his, what do we call it? Try and just make his government, because he is now ruling a failed system. He is ruling a failed government, a failed state. He knows very well, I am governing a failed state, a failed system. And sooner or later, this regime is going to fall. This empire is going to fall. But can it fall with the presence of the black people? Can it fall when the black people are around? And therefore, a few people who will buy this trick, or a few people who will buy this lie, they are likely going to suffer, and they are likely going to find it so difficult for them to manage or for them to make it. Okay? So, they know very well they need the black people. Just that they don't want to accept they need black people because of the level of their arrogance. They cannot speak it out or say it out that they need the black people. But me and you know very well, they need the black people to survive. Without the black people, they cannot, and they are not going to survive. I know that. You know that. Everybody knows that. Yeah. And therefore, he's going to do everything to make sure he is trying and make the black people happy by telling them, I'm going to take care of you, I'm going to help you and all that, just to keep them stay and remain in his country. But the truth is that there is nothing like that. There is nothing like that. Black people in America are already feeling bad. They're already upset. And right now, there is nothing they can be able to do for them to maybe rework things out or redo things or maybe correct their mess. It is already a mess. Blacks have suffered for years. They have cried for years. Nobody was listening to them. Until now, they want to pretend they're listening to them. It is too late. It can never happen. Tell me what you think in the comment section. I'll do my best to make sure I read all the comments and give a response where possible. I am the African Streamline presenter, all-time presenter. Thanks for coming. Thanks for always stopping by and watching my videos. I really do appreciate. Welcome back again to the channel. God bless you.